Hello everyone, myself Datta. Today I am going to give a presentation on Dell entry-level storage, troubleshooting and diagnostics. Now come to objective. What we will learn from this presentation. The basic knowledge of powerboard MD3009, 3800F, 3820F, basic overview of storage, how to troubleshoot and diagnostic, daily storage, how to configure virtual disk, how to map virtual disk to host, installation and removing features. Now come to introduction about MD family. There are so many different type of storage in MD family, like MD1000, MD1120, like that I mentioned. In there, direct address storage and storage area network both available. In MD family, ISKG and FC both interfaces are available. Now come to powerboard MD3000i. It is a 3U rack mounted external RAID storage array capable of accommodating up to 15 3GBps SAS hard disk. The RAID enclosure can daily change up to 2 additional MD1000 expansion enclosure, providing access to a maximum of 45 disks in the entire storage array. Connectivity between the RAID enclosure and the host server is provided by a standard Ethernet connection, and communication between two is established through a ISKG initiator. Now come to the enclosure connection. In the back side of the enclosure, we get the RAID controller and the power supply and cooling fan module. The RAID enclosure is connected to a host server via two RAID controller modules. The RAID controller module is identified as RAID 0 and RAID 1, where I already indicated in one RAID controller 0 and two RAID controller 1, and we have the both cooling fan and power supply. Hardware features of the enclosure. An optional locking bezel can be installed on the front of the enclosure to limit access condition indicated by the light of the bezel. Here the first one is, if the first one is green, means the array is configured in split mode configuration. If it is turned off, that means it is in unified mode configuration. Second, the power LED. When it is lit, means at least one power supply supplying the power to the enclosure. Third one is the enclosure status LED. If it is steady amber, means power is on and it is in reset state. If it is steady blue, means power is on and the enclosure is okay. If it is flashing blue, means it is blinked by MDSM storage manager. If it is flashing blue, means the enclosure is in faulty state. Now, after removing the front bezel, we can get this front panel, where there we see the physical disc also. In there, I already mark out the LED indication and the physical disc where it is placed. Previously, I already mentioned the enclosure status LED, power LED, split mode LED. Now come to the enclosure switch. What is that? If the enclosure is connected to a expander of MD1000, then we have to turn the switch on, otherwise it is in off state. And fifth, there are 15 physical hard disks in the enclosure. It is connected to the enclosure. Now come to physical disk carrier. Each physical disk in the enclosure has two LEDs, an activity LED and a bicolor status LED. First, if the status LED is off, means physical disk is not yet recovered by the host server or an unsupported disk is present. If it is steady green, means physical disk is online. If it is flashing green, means the physical disk is being identified. If the status LED is flashing green for 40 milliseconds, for 400 milliseconds or off in 100 milliseconds, then the disk is in revealing state. If it is flashing amber, means the disk is fault. If the status LED is flashing amber, flashing green, then amber, then off, then means the physical disk failure, predictive failure. If the status LED is green for 3 seconds, amber for 3 seconds and off for 3 seconds, it means the physical disk revealing contains rate controller module and its features. The enclosure having two rate controller present in that. Previously I discussed about that. A single rate controller consists of two ISKG input connector, one management port, one SAS output connector, debug port also there. From debug port we get the 1.0 easily by PS to CL cable. Here I mentioned everything, the real view of the rate controller. First one is ISKG input 0 and is activity LED status. Green means link is operated at 1000 Mbps. If it is amber, means link is operated at 100 Mbps. If it is off, means it is not active. Second one is ISKG port 0. Provide host to controller ISKG connection. If it is solid, means there is no activity on the link. If it is blinking, means there is activity on the link. Third one is ISKG input 0 link duplex mode. When it is green, means it is in full duplex mode. When it is off, means there is no connection. It is in half duplex mode. ISKG input 1. Same thing previously I told. 5 is battery fault LED. Each rate controller consists of 3-cell lithium-ion battery backup unit that powers the controller cache memory and preserves the cache content in the event of the power outage up to 72 hours. If the battery is full, then we get the amber indication in the LED. If the LED is in off state, means the battery backup unit is operated normally. Now come to 6. Cache activity LED. If it is green, means onboard controller memory contains data. If it is off, means it is empty state. 7. Then ISKG port 1 and it is the link duplex mode LED is there. Now come to the 9. Controller fault LED. When it is amber, means controller is faulty detected. If it is off, means controller operated normally. 10. Controller power LED. If the controller is powered on, then it is green. When it is not powered on, it is in off state. 11. Ethernet link LED. When it is green, the connection is active, or off means it is not active. 12 is the management port. provided 10 to 100 Mbps Ethernet connection for the out of the band management to the enclosure. 13. Ethernet speed LED. When green, it is operated at 100 Mbps, it is off, operated at 10 Mbps or not active. 4th, debug port. Previously I mentioned to get the command to the port by PS to CL cable. We did for that if this is used. 15. SAN link faulty LED. When it is amber, between one to 3 links are connected. Green when all 4 links are connected. Off when all links are down. SAS output. Provide the SAS connection cabling to downchain the extension encoder. When you want to extension, we have to connect through this SAS output. Now come to battery backup unit. Previously I told about that. Now come to power supply and cooling fan feature. Our enclosure support 2 integrated hot pluggable power supply and cooling fan modules. Both modules must be installed to ensure proper cooling. Each module contains 2 separate cooling fans and the enclosure requires at least 3 of the cooling fans to operate to avoid the overheating. A power supply and cooling fan can be replaced without powering down the enclosure because it is redundant. Here the LED indication and the rear view of the power supply and the cooling fan module. First one is the DC power LED. When green color, when it is on, means it is the output voltage are within specification. When off means no power or voltage not within specification. If the power supply cooling fan faulty, when we will get the amber, means DC output voltage are not within or one of the fan are faulty. Or when off, no fault indication is seen, means it is in good state. AC power, when it is green, when it is on, means AC voltage is within a specification, or off means it is not within the specification. And 5th one is on off switch and 6th one is AC power connector. Now come to modular disk storage manager. It is a graphical user interface within the wizard guide tool and a task-based structure designed to reduce the complexity of installation, configuration, management, diagnostic stuff. It also contains an optional event monitoring service that is used to send alert when a critical problem with the storage array occurs, or a command line interface access function performed by MDSM also. This is a summary page of the MDSM manager. Now come to configure a virtual disk. How to configure a virtual disk? First of all, we have to install the MDSM storage client. Then after we have to open it, then click automatic. It will take some time. Then after we get this page, which previously I told, the summary page. Then when we go to the configuration section, then we open up the create disk group and virtual disk, which is listed in the down of the configuration storage array page. Now after open it, we have to select the disk group radio button. Now we have to give a identified disk group name which can be figured out easily later on. Now we have to select manual for the physical disk and click next. and we can choose which physical drive we should be included in the disk group. We can choose from there. Now we select the RAID type we like to assign to the group and which drive we like to include in this group. Now we can select our preferred drive from the left section and click on add button. Now click on calculate capacity button. It will show how much usage space we will get in this type of configuration. Now click finish. It will take some time to reveal depending upon the size of the group. After that, now we create our virtual disk. Now we have to assign to server. Assign to server we have to we1. In the same configuration page, we go to the create disk group and virtual disk. We can create the virtual disk, providing our required size and disk group and assign a price understandable name for the same. Now we have to configure. We have configured our required virtual disk and learn on the storage area. Now we have to assign the same to the server. For that we have to configure ISKZ controller module with IP address, and this address are reachable from the server also. To assign ISKZ storage virtual disk, we need MS ISKZ initiator tool. This tool usually provide driver for the storage connectivity over the existing network adapter. In MD3000i, storage client provides its own customized MS ISKZ initiator driver, MP IO driver, and it gets installed at the time of the storage client installation. Now let's log into our server. If the server is 2008 R2 server, then it comes with MS ISKZ installed. If it is 2003 or 2008, then we have to install the software from externally. Now we will find this tool from the program administrative tool ISKZ initiator. Let's open it. After opening it, register our ISKZ IQN with the storage box. For that, go to the Discovery tab and click the Discovery portal, then ISKZ, and add our ISKZ controller IP address. Now we have now click apply. Now go to the first step of the ISKZ to target, where we can see a IQN number which status is inactive. So select the Discover IQN and click connect. A pop-up will come screen. So we have to click the checkbox and then click the connect. Then after we see the status is connected. Let's now get into our storage client again. Open the configure tab. From that we will go to the configuration host access manual configuration page. Now after clicking that, type our host name for which we are going to create the host configuration. Then select the host type. It is cluster or non-cluster. We have to choose a non-cluster because we are using only one server access from the storage, so we will choose a non-cluster. Then click next. Then select the host IQ name. Then click add and next button, and then click select no, because we are going to assign the virtual disk to the, we are not going to assign the 3D to the cluster server. Then click next. After we click next, it will create a host access configuration. We can click finish to complete this task. After clicking finish, the task is complete. Now we will go to the configure page to map the virtual disk to the host. Now go to the configuration, configure, then click the create host to virtual mapping section. Here I already marked. Now we are going to assign a virtual disk to the earlier registered server and select the host name for that. After that, click next. Now select the available virtual disk for the host and click finish. This section will complete. Then again we go to our server and verify what has happened. Explore the changes in the activity register. For that we have to go to the disk management of the server. If we are not getting the new drive, then we have to rescan. After that we will get the drive. Then after we have to initialize and assign the drive later on the same. Now come to the troubleshooting in MDS. In storage modular disk storage manager, there is one portion is there, recovery group. The recovery group is a component of MDSN that diagnostics critical event on the storage array and recommend step-by-step recovery procedure for the problem solution. We can access the recovery group by clicking storage array need attention on the summary page, or by clicking the recover from the failure on the support page. We can detect a problem using non-optimal status icon, alert notification that are present on the appropriate destination, or hardware indicator lights. Also, the status indicator icon return to optimal state if the problem is solved. Now come to storage array profile. The storage array profile provides an overview of our configuration, including firmware version and the current status of all devices on the storage array. Now, device health condition. The storage array establishes communication with each managed device and determines the current device status. Before you configure or troubleshoot our device, always make sure that the enclosures in the storage array are in optimal status. Now come to troubleshooting of enclosures. First, safety first for us and for our enclosure. To perform a certain procedure, we must follow safety while working inside the enclosure. Don't do any activity for which we are unknown. Next come to startup routine. We have to look and listen during the enclosure startup routine for the indication description of the front and back panel indicator. Now troubleshooting the external connection. Loose or improperly connected cable or bent pin are most likely the source of this problem. So we have to make sure and ensure that all external cables are securely attached to the external connector on our system, and that none of the connector are damaged for the back connector of the enclosure. Now Troubleshooting a wet enclosure means if the liquid spilled on the enclosure or excessive humidity comes, then what action we need to do? First, turn off the enclosure, disconnect all power, removing all the physical disks from the enclosure. To remove the physical disk, our enclosure support up to 15 SAS hard disk, each one contained in its individual disk carrier. Physical disks are connected directly to the enclosure midplane and are hot pluggable, so allowing us to remove and insert disk without shutting down our enclosure. To remove the hard disk, wait until the LED indication on the physical disk carrier stop flashing. Use the release mechanism on the front of the physical carrier. Open the physical disk carrier handle by rotating it down. Here I already marked. Gently but firmly pull the physical disk carrier from its slot while supporting the weight from the disk from the bottom. Now remove the rate controller module from the enclosure. The enclosure contains two rate controller modules. Both are hot pluggable and can be removed and installed independently without shutting down the enclosure. When we want to remove the enclosure without shutting down, before that we have to turn off the enclosure from the NDSN manager. Then if you want to release, push up on the release tab of the left side of the module. At the same time, pull out the release lever. When the lever is pulled out, the controller module is partially ejected from the enclosure, and remove the module from the enclosure and place it on a flat surface. Here first one is release tab and second one is release lever. Now removing and installing the power supply cooling fan module. Turn off the power supply. We intend to remove using the on-off switch. Using flip head screwdriver, loosen the two capacitive screw, screwing the power supply and the cooling fan module in the bay. Then grab the handle on the power supply and carefully pull the module out of the bay. Same for installing features, we have to gently push out and screws and tighten the screws. Now how to remove the control panel of the enclosure. Carefully slide the controller power LED indicator on the front panel of the system enclosure. It is connected to the back plane and cannot be removed or replaced unless the system is powered down. For that, power down the host server, power down our enclosure, disconnect all the power cable of the enclosure, loosen the two thumb screw on the front of the enclosure panel and pull the enclosure approximately 6 inches from our rack. Remove all the physical discs from the enclosure using T10 screwdriver. Remove all 16 screws are there. Remove the front face panel of the enclosure plate and slide the controller panel assembly straight out from the connector on the back plane. For the installation features, we have to proceed with the reverse process. Now, how to remove the mid panel of the enclosure. The enclosure mid panel contains the connector for the physical disk, read controller, control panel, power supply and module. For that we have to removing all the things. Then remove the read controller module from the enclosure. Then we have to remove the 4 flip screw holding from the controller. I indicated they are all there. Then after, slide the controller and power supply cage from the enclosure and place it aside. Reaching into the enclosure chassis from the back, carefully disconnect the mid panel from the controller panel and lift it out of the enclosure. To install, we have to follow the reverse process. Let the enclosure dry slowly for at least 24 hours. Reinstall all the components and remove the previous state. And reconnect the enclosure to the electric outlet and turn the enclosure on. Now come to troubleshooting power supply. If we getting the problem, enclosure status indicated show a problem or power supply faulty indication. Referring to the recovery group, do the procedure by the MDSM and locate the power supply and note the status of the LED. Check the power cord, power source, verify the power switch is turned on, remove and install it. If it is problem persists, remove the power supply from the and install a new power supply. Troubleshooting enclosure cooling fan. If the MDSM issue a fan related error or MDSM issue a temperature related error, then what we do? Amber temperature is so high, we have to check it. The electric airflow is obstructed, power cooling module is fan is failed or not. Then how to troubleshoot the fan? Locate the modification of the fan, ensure the faulty power supply is properly connected to the enclosure and mid panel. If the problem is not resolved, then we have to install a new power supply or cooling fan module. Now troubleshooting controller battery. If the MD storage manager issue a controller battery failed, in order to change out the controller battery, we use MDSM to take a problematic controller offline. Here we can see that. Now open the MDSM storage software and navigate it to the support tab. Click the MD read controller module, storage controller 0 on the left and storage controller 1 on the right. So we want to the MDSM and place the storage controller offline, read module and controller battery, and then reset it. After replacing the battery, we want MDSM and power the controller back to the online. Placing the controller on the slot 0 offline should receive a message that controller has been placed offline. So how to remove the battery? For remove the battery, in the back side of the controller there are 2 screws. We have to remove that. Then after we see the battery, there is one thumb screw is there. We have after using the thumb screw, we can pull the battery easily. Then again we put the controller back to the controller. After bringing back to online in the same manner, we took it offline and we can go to the tool menu and reset the battery age. So we see that the new battery is showing charging, which is good. Now we cannot manually set the preferred for to one which we want to modify in the modify menu. If the board battery is bad, then we get in the board battery in faulty scenario. If the board battery is charging, in the bottom of the picture we get the board battery in charging status. Now, how to troubleshoot a physical disk? Suppose we getting the physical disk status LED is flashing amber. Reviewing the MDSM for possible recovery option, inspect the disk and misprint connector for the obvious damage, reinstall the disk in its original build. If the problem persists, replace the disk within a new physical disk of same configuration. Before removing a new solution, we have to wait at least 60 seconds. Then after we have to remove. Then after we have to install the new HDD. If multiple disks are failure, then what we will do? If the disks are in RAID 5 configuration and 3 multiple disks are getting failed. So checking the MDSM, which driver is getting failure, and also checking the enclosure. Remove the physical disk from the enclosure. Wait at least 60 seconds between removing a drive and inserting a replacement. Replace all the drive with new drive with same configuration. In case of multiple drive, we have to delete the virtual disk and we have to again create the virtual disk with same configuration and map it to host. Previously, I already discussed about that, how to configure virtual disk and how to map it. Now come to controller failure and lockdown condition. Certain events can cause a controller module to fail or shut down. Unrecoverable ECC memory or PCI error or critical physical condition can cause the lockdown. If our RAID storage array is configured for redundant access and cache mirroring, the surviving controller can normally recover without loss of data or shutdown. First, inbuilt enclosure. If the RAID controller module is supported only the Dell supported enclosure. Upon installation in the enclosure, the controller performs a set of validation checks. The enclosure status LED is the RAID controller firmware detects a ECC error and can recover from a single bit ECC error whether the RAID controller module is in redundant or non-redundant configuration. A storage array with redundant controller can recover from multi-bit ECC error as well as to a RAID controller module and take it over. PCI error. The storage enclosure firmware can detect and only recover from PCI error when the RAID controller module and the configuration for redundancy. If the virtual disk uses cache memory, it fails over its paired RAID controller module, which initially a flush of a dirty cache. Now come to critical condition. The storage array will generate a critical event of RAID controller module that detects the critical condition that could cause immediate failover of the closure and loss of data. If more than one fan has failed, any backplane temperature sensor is critical, then a backplane or power supply is failure, two or more temperature sensors are unreliable, failover to detect the candidate or unable to communicate with keyboard when the enclosure is under critical condition. The enclosure LED link amber. Non-critical condition. A non-critical condition is an event or status that will not cause immediate failure but must be corrected to ensure continuous reliability of the storage array. For example, non-critical events include the following: one of the power supply has failed, or one cooling fan has failed, one rate controller is in redundant configuration has failed, a battery has failed or has been removed, a physical disk is in redundant or virtual disk has failed. When the enclosure is under non-critical condition, the enclosure status is now come to MD3800F and MD3820X series. Before that, I am discussing about ISQC interface, and this series is for F6 interface. The MD3800F and MD3820X series storage array is designed for high availability, offer redundant access to data storage. It features support both single and dual rate controller configuration. This series provides fiber channel connectivity to the host server. It enables access to 64 physical hosts. This series storage array includes a number of components: rate controller module, USB fan module, disk drive, font bezel, a system enclosure into which the other components are plugged. Now come to the back panel features and the indicator. Here I marked the back panel, rear view of the back panel. First one is power supply, 60 watt power supply and cooling fan module, first and fourth, and here 2 and 3 is the rate controller module 0 and rate controller module 1. Now come to how to remove the font bezel. Using a systematic key, unlock the font bezel, lift the release latch next to the keyhole, rotate the left end of the bezel away from the font panel, unhook the right end of the bezel and pull the bezel away from the front of the system. Here I mark everything: bezel, key lock, latch, release latch and hinge tab. Then how to remove the physical disks. This series consists of 2.5-inch hard disk and 3.5-inch hard disk also. Press the release button and slide the physical drive blank out until it's free from the physical drive slot. Here I mention the physical drive and release button for 2.5-inch and 3.5-inch also. Now, how to remove the power supply and cooling fan module. This series includes two integrated hot swappable power supply and cooling fan module. Both modules must be installed to ensure proper cooling. The system requires at least one of the cooling fan to be functional to avoid overheating. A power supply module can be replaced without powering down the system. Turn off the power supply cooling fan module. Disconnect the power cable from the power source. Remove the strip that secures the power cable and disconnect the power cable from the power supply and the cooling fan module. Press the release tab and pull the power supply out of the chassis. Here this mark release the power supply and power supply handle. Now come to how to remove the rate controller module. A small form factor pluggable means SFP transceivers are present. Record the port in which they are installed and remove them. Take the desired rate controller module offline from the MDSM manager. Disconnect the cable connected to the rate controller. and the fiber optic cable are present, it may be necessary to primarily remove the rate controller module using two releasing lever. Opening the release lever make it easier to press down the fiber optic cable resistor. If the system is still running, do not disturb the second rate controller module. Pull down the resistor and pull the release lever away from the chassis and grab the release lever and pull away from the chassis. Now, here I mentioned how to open the rate controller module and how to remove the battery backup. There are two screws in the rate controller module. You have to remove that. Then there is indent in it. We place it. Then after we can remove the top plate of the rate controller. Here we get the battery backup unit, and one screw is there. If you release that, then we can get the battery backup unit. Then after we can replace before MD3009, which is the procedure. Everything is same, only the functionality is different. I only mentioned which are different in that. I only mentioned that there, but and everything is same with the MD3000i. Now, how to remove the control panel? To remove that, turn off the array and the host server. Disconnect all the power cables connected to the array. Remove the hard drive slot 2022 in power hole MD3800F and 025 in 3820F. Slide the controller out of the chassis after pushing a release lever down on the front array. Then pulling the pin, and we can get the controller easily. And to install it, we have to follow the reverse process. In the image, I mention everything. Now, how to remove the back panel? To remove the back panel, turn off the array, disconnect it from the electric outlet, disconnect all the cables, disconnect all the hard disks, rate control, power supply, control wire, because all are connected to the same place. Before that, we have to remove everything. Remove the screw that secure the rate controller module, power supply, case of the chassis. Here in the image it is described. Hold the key removable ring at the bottom center of the array and pull the rate controller module power supply case toward back to the chassis. Leave the rate controller away from the chassis. Loosen the capacitive screw and secure the backplane of the chassis. Remove the screw and secure the backplane and pull the backplane out of the array. Now troubleshooting of MD3000F or MD3820F. If the recovery group direct us to replace the rate controller module, means the problem, sometimes the problem is with rate controller, means always not it is a problem with the rate controller, sometimes it is problem with the SPF. Then the controller is not, if the controller is not getting detection, so we troubleshoot the SPF only. For that we have to see the FC laser LED inside the SPF, if the both are lit or not. If the LED are not on, then remove the SPF and install it, and again reinstall it. If the problem persists, then we have to replace the SPF. In there we also check the AC cable inside the cable. Laser LED is there also. Sometimes problem with the AC cable or the host server from where it comes, so we have to troubleshoot that also. Now troubleshoot the rate controller. solid or blinking. In MDSN, in the summary tab, click the storage array need attention. Follow the procedure in the recovery or wait of 5 minutes and check the LED turn to blue. If the recovery procedure is not failed, complete turn off the host server, remove the RAID controller module, verify that the pin on the backplane and the RAID controller module are not pained, install the RAID controller, wait for 30 seconds, check the RAID controller module status LED. If the problem persists, replace the controller module and turn on the server. If both LED for any given XP port are unlit, then turn off the host server, storage array and expensive enclosure. Receive the RAID controller module and reconnect the cable on the storage array and the host server. Restart the storage array and wait until the array is fully booted. Turn on the host server, recheck the LED and the effect port, replace the fiber optic cable if there is both LEDs are unlit. Then troubleshooting of expensive enclosure management module. First, verify the SAS out LED is green for each XP port connected to a cable, at least one port where LED is on. Ensure that all the cables are attached correctly according to the array mode displayed. Turn off the host server, storage array, expensive enclosure, receive the RAID controller, and the procedure the same follow previously as told. If the enclosure STD are not green, turn off the host server, receive the cable extension, then check the LED and the leak history is green and replace. If it is not, problem is solved, then replace the cable. Now troubleshooting an array or expensive enclosure. Previously, I already discussed about how to troubleshoot array and expensive enclosure connection. The SAS output LED is green or not, if a XP port cable are lit. Okay, so we have to go the procedure and troubleshoot what are the required things in that. This I given the simple overview of MD3800 or MD3820F, because before that I already discussed in MD3000 about that clearly. Now I am going to give a just basic overview and simple knowledge of PS storage. A PS series array, a high profile block storage device that is ideal for departmental or enterprise storage. Each array is a commonly configured fully redundant storage unit containing multiple high performance network interface, controller with mirror, battery back cache and other advanced features. In there we can get RAID 10, RAID 5, RAID 50 and hardware also. Here is the basic image of Ecology PS series. Now come to Dell Ecology Group Manager. PS array provides a simple robust user interface for creating, expanding and managing group. The graphical user interface GUI and the command line user interface provide a virtually identical functionality. We can run GUI from a web browser by installing GUI on a local computer running an external application by entering our group IP in the supported web browser. For that we have to install the latest version of Java. At the login format, enter a valid group administration account name. For example, the default is group admin and password is password. Here are the basic images of Dell Ecology Group Manager. Now come to conclusion. The Dell PowerVault MD3000i iSCSI is an array. It is designed to simplify the deploy and operation with the PowerEdge server. The MD3000i enables storage to save up to 16 servers using standard gigabyte Ethernet storage infrastructure, unifying the hardware and management of the storage network. Dell solution simplifying operation, improving utilization and cost-effective scale as our need growth over the time. And this reference configure a white paper provides a blueprint for the basic troubleshooting and diagnostics of Dell PowerVault MD3000i iSCSI and MD3300 FC storage and the basic overview of real storage. Yes, I am done with my presentation. I have the reference where I got this information and make this presentation. Thank you, all of you. If you have any query, you can contact me directly. Thank you a lot for your valuable time and you see this presentation.